Tonight's lesson starts out in Matthew chapter 5, verse 25. It says, "Make friends quickly with your opponent at law while you are with him on the way, so that your opponent may not hand you over to the judge, and the judge to the officer, and you be thrown into prison." You know, I read a lesson given by Owen Cosgrove, a Church of Christ preacher from Texas. And over the years, his take on some of the verses from the Sermon on the Mount have just stuck with me. As he spoke of real life examples he saw in life every day, he conveyed them in a sermon. He started out by telling a story about a young lady that was in a car wreck. She said, "I had the right of way," she cried as she looked upon her demolished car. "She ran the yield sign," she said between sobs. "I was in the right and she was in the wrong." Of course, she was right, but she still has a demolished car and was lucky that she had not lost her life. In Matthew chapter 5, verse 41, the scripture says, "Whoever forces you to go 1 mile, go with him 2." You know, courses in defensive driving teach us we need to be prepared to yield, even if it is us that has the right of way. The Lord taught us to give in when we can do it without sacrificing principles of morality or of truth. In Matthew chapter 5, verse 38 through 40, the scripture reads, "You have heard that it was said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But I say to you, do not resist an evil person. But whoever slaps you on your right cheek, turn the other to him also. If anyone wants to sue you and take your shirt, let him have your coat also." You see, we do not accomplish much in our lives from fussing and fighting. Many times the best thing to do is just yield. Dale Carnegie told of a time when a friend of his was winning an argument with another about some matter of little importance. Carnegie told that he sided with the other man. When they were alone, his friend asked him, "Why did you side with him, Dale? Why? You knew I was right." And Carnegie replied, "You were about to lose a friend over something that was not very important. I could not just stand by and see that happen." You see, we need to be prepared to yield in our lives when the subject doesn't really matter. You see, churches have split, marriages have failed, friendships were lost, and even nations have gone to war, all because someone would not give in. Just because someone was right and the other person was wrong. I remember Owen saying that being right is of little comfort when 2 speeding cars have been reduced to rubble and mangled and bleeding bodies are scattered under a yield sign on the highway of life. That stuck with me. You see, we live a life where the scriptures truly come alive to us. Understanding God's will and way is one thing, but living the will of God is sometimes the challenge, and it's where the rubber meets the road.